The Steelers are making decisions that could completely change the future of the team. Najee Harris, Mike Tomlin, Omar Khan, and even the draft are involved in a move no one saw coming. And if that wasn't enough, the quarterback battle just got a new twist that could complicate everything for Pittsburgh. Are the Steelers about to take a huge step forward or a major misstep? You can't miss a single detail of these breaking stories. So hit the like button and let's get into the news. The Pittsburgh Steelers shocked everyone when they decided not to pick up Najee Harris's fifth-year option. With the running back market becoming increasingly devalued, the Steelers would have had to pay only $6.7 million to keep him in 2025. A very reasonable price considering his production and durability. After all, how many RBs out there can guarantee over 1,000 yards per season while playing behind a questionable offensive line and with a constantly rotating cast of quarterbacks? Harris has been a polarizing figure in Pittsburgh. His supporters highlight that he has never missed a game due to injury and remains productive despite an inconsistent offense. But there are also those who believe he hasn't lived up to his first-round pick status, especially when compared to Jaylen Warren. The former undrafted free agent has become a fan favorite, bringing more explosiveness and efficiency in yards per carry. Now, a new rumor has surfaced. Mike Tomlin, a big fan of Harris, is pushing to keep him on the team. Pittsburgh Post-Gazette journalist Jerry Dulac was asked about Harris's chances of getting a new contract and said they are quite high, precisely because Tomlin wants it to happen. However, Dulac doubts the deal will be worth more than the fifth-year option the Steelers declined. His colleague Ray Fittipaldo agrees, stating that if the team brings Harris back, it will be for the same or less than $6.7 million. But here's the dilemma. While Tomlin has considerable influence, he doesn't have the final say. Team president Art Rooney II and GM Omar Khan could decide to go in a different direction, especially since Warren seems to be a better fit for new offensive coordinator Arthur Smith. Plus, Harris might want to test the market and see what other teams are willing to offer. And there's another factor in this equation: the draft. While it seems unlikely that the Steelers will use a high pick on another running back, some mock drafts suggest that Boise State's Ashton Jeanty could be available at the 21st pick. Fittipaldo doesn't believe Pittsburgh will go that route, as the defensive line and wide receiver cores are bigger priorities. However, the Steelers have a history of taking the best available talent, so this possibility can't be entirely ruled out, especially since they've already scheduled a meeting with Jeanty at the NFL Combine. At the end of the day, if Tomlin really wants Najee Harris back, he'll probably get his way. But with a market full of solid running backs and new options emerging in the draft, the situation is far from settled. So, Steelers fans, what would you do in this situation? Drop a comment below. But hold on, because the next story involves a twist that could completely change the team's plans for 2025. The Steelers were never really in the race for Matthew Stafford, but to be honest, it seems like he never wanted to play in Pittsburgh anyway. Whether it was financial reasons, the way the franchise is run, or simply not wanting to deal with outdoor games all season long, Stafford went in a different direction. Now that the first domino has fallen, the Steelers need to move quickly to secure their quarterback for 2025, and all signs point to Russell Wilson still being in the mix. But Pittsburgh isn't the only team eyeing the veteran. According to Michael Silver of The Athletic, the Raiders are also interested, which makes total sense. As soon as Las Vegas hired Pete Carroll as head coach, many started speculating about a possible reunion between him and Wilson. After all, they won a Super Bowl together and made it back to the big game the following year. Few duos understand each other's game better than these two, so why not try to bring back some of that old magic in Vegas? That speculation has now turned into a real possibility. The Raiders were in the race for Stafford, and since they couldn't land him, they now need a new target. Adam Schefter confirmed that they have their sights set on Wilson, and, to make things even more interesting, they might also go after Justin Fields. Fields is one of the most intriguing names available right now. He's still young, has massive potential, and has already shown he can be a nightmare for defenses with his dual threat ability. During the 6 games he played with the Steelers, he made it clear that, at the very least, he could be a solid transitional QB, and with the right development, maybe even more than that. The Raiders' dilemma is clear. Will one of the top quarterbacks in the draft fall to them at the 8th pick? Should they try to develop Fields? Or do they take the safe route and bring in a veteran to lead the offense? They have a lot to consider. And there's another wrinkle that could complicate things for Pittsburgh: the infamous tampering. Officially, the NFL's negotiation period hasn't started yet, but let's be real. These conversations happen all the time. Wilson and Carroll have a long-standing relationship, and it would be naive to think they haven't already discussed a potential reunion. If the Raiders decide Wilson is their guy, the Steelers could lose him before even getting the chance to make a serious offer. In the end, everything depends on which path Las Vegas chooses. If they go with the security of an experienced QB to mentor a rookie, Wilson could be wearing silver and black in 2025. But if they bet on Fields' potential, Pittsburgh might still have a shot at landing Wilson. The clock is ticking, and Omar Khan needs to act fast. The Steelers are at a crossroads. If they don't make the right moves, they could end up jeopardizing the team's future. The front office needs to act quickly, or they'll be left without viable options in both the backfield and at quarterback. Now the question is, will Pittsburgh make the right call or regret it later? To stay up to date with everything, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications.